Hey y'all, tonight I was just going to share a little bit with you from the very first anthology put out by Outcast Press. They specialize in transgressive fiction, and their book In Filth It Shall Be Found is a collection, an anthology of transgressive fiction by different authors, and that's a lot of what I write with my Eucalyptus Lane series, and reading this anthology helped give me a deeper understanding of all the many varieties of transgressive fiction. And until I came across some of the posts and some information by Outcast Press about what transgressive fiction is, I wasn't really sure. But it's usually stories about characters who kind of deal with the strictures of society in unusual, illicit, sometimes illegal, eccentric ways. And that's true of so many of my characters in all of my writing, whether it's my screenplays, my fiction writing, and all that. So anyway, that just really appealed to me. And my stories, I consider them also neo-noir, but they're also very much transgressive fiction. And if you're a fan of folks like the beat writers, you know, some of the writers in Paris, maybe around the turn of the century, Baudelaire, you know, people like that, you might be familiar with. William Burroughs is often mentioned as a transgressive fiction writer. Henry Miller, Anais Nin, and there are so many others. Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote Fight Club, which is a great novel, by the way. It was made into a movie, but that's considered kind of a piece of transgressive fiction that really went mainstream and was really successful. But anyway, the Filth That Shall Be Found anthology, it talks about how it's kind of in the fringes, in the darker parts of our psyche, that maybe we can discover things about ourselves, and maybe about life itself, and things that maybe we'd rather turn away from, but that we, you know, we're kind of forced to look at, and this fiction forces you to look at those things. But I was just going to read a short snippet. There's so much to look at in here, and I would like to come back and share some more from one of the other stories later, but for tonight, I'm just going to share with you a short passage from one called Sugar Baby by C.T. Marie. Okay, so here we go. The drugs are better in my neighborhood. At boyfriend's request, I score a bag of H. Discreetly, I hand my dealer 5 $20 bills. Gracias, Senor Wiz. He says, take care of yourself, and palms me the plump little baggie of China White. It's not my first choice. I prefer Vicodin, Percocet, Oxycodone, or on occasion, a tranquilizer like Valium or Xanax. I used to buy from some old lady down the street with a whole pharmacy in her lilac bathroom. Every time I'd visit, she'd offer me a cup of Darjeeling, real hospitable. I'd sip it and watch her count each little white pill. She'd go, 1, 2, you don't have a problem with this, do you? 3, 4. Just for fun, I assured her. Mine is marijuana, she said before handing me a pouch of pills. I haven't seen her in 2 months. She won't return my phone calls. Hopefully she didn't get caught. That would be a major bummer. I walk to the subway. From across the street, my neighbor calls out and waves hello. I wave back. New York City is not a small town, but when you grow up here, it feels like one. Boyfriend told me he was sick of his neighbors, sick of his parents. He moved down here from Cape Cod to redefine himself. By chance, 2 years ago, we met at a seedy bar in the East Village. He reminded me of Robert Mapplethorpe, lanky, pale, with a head of brown curls. He bought me a beer, and we sipped our cool drinks with Velvet Underground's Venus in Furs playing in the background. Friend does not like boyfriend. She says his relationship with opiates is highly contagious. So critical. Her boyfriend turned her into a vegan, and I don't judge that. Boyfriend lives in Brooklyn. So I descend the stairs of the 181st Street station to catch the downtown A train. I'm wearing a new outfit picked specifically for this mission. I'm hoping we can go out tonight. I'm hoping he will see me as someone to keep. I figure this outfit gives off an air of confidence, a chicness not to be outdone by the 90s. I washed my hair, shaved my legs, painted my nails and a cool blue, and my lips a deep red. On the platform, I pace back and forth. The buzz from the wine I drank earlier is wearing off. I'm shaking in my too tight purple skirt. Why am I trying so hard? It doesn't matter what I wear. Boyfriend won't care. Women are too thoughtful and men not at all. I stare into the mouth of the tunnel, willing the train to come pick me up. I lightly squeeze the H in my purse to reassure myself. I'm not a junkie. It's just a hobby, an occasional activity. People binge drink every weekend, smoke pot every morning, and do bumps of cocaine at every party. Bartenders like to shout, "Pick your poison." Well, I have. Why do I deserve such a bad rap? Friend talks a lot of shit. Finally, the eyes of the train light up the station. It's the weekend, but damn, with delays like this, the subway should be half off or free. I sit next to the window, facing forward. The overhead fluorescent lights flicker. Goosebumps snake up my arms. The air conditioning is on full blast, snuffing out my sense of smell. Pity. I prefer the stink of strangers, the pheromones, the sweat, the perfume. When did everyone become so cold and tasteless? So that's just a little section from Sugar Baby by C.T. Marie. There you go, there's the cover. I think it's a beautiful cover. In Filth It Shall Be Found, and it's by Outcast Press. It's their first anthology. It came out a couple of years ago, and I'm still revisiting it. It's really good, and I hope you'll pick it up, and I'll see you again next week at Bedtime Noir.